I think that's also you already had it in your brain, and it was just this accentuated it to bring it out early.
Yeah.
But,
so like
yes.
it may have never triggered your entire life, and then all of a sudden you just happen to smoke weed, and then boom, you're fucking never the same for the rest of your life. I find that crazy.
And for that reason, I think it's, as much as I don't really care that people do drugs, I do think that kids need to chill because your brain's still developing into your 20s.
Yeah.
And if your brain's not fully developed and you can't that's the thing. Every 18-year-old, especially 18-year-old guys, I thought I was the smartest fucking kid in the room when I was 18.
For sure.
I mean, it's not that I don't think that now.
Still do,
but like I look back on my 18-year-old self and think, dude, you're a fucking idiot. You didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Like, so kids always have so much confidence. They always want to be treated as adults. They always think like, oh my God, why are you treating me like this? I'm 18. Like I get things now. Like you always think you're so much more advanced than you really are, even if your brain's still developing. You're prone to making terrible decisions for like a good 20 years. And a lot of us 30 years. So should kids have access to them? Of course not. I don't think that's good at all. I think, I don't think most of the, youth that I do know, I don't think many of them do a lot of drugs. They probably, most of them smoke weed because that's like the most common one.
Kids are doing less drugs nowadays because there's just so much more information from what I've heard. But it's also like these are statistics, and it's pretty easy to lie on statistics, right?
And like I know what goes down at parties. Like we've all been there. Like I know most of them have probably smoked weed. If they don't do it on a regular basis, they have at least done it once.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of kids, especially like in our community, that have probably done mushrooms a couple times. Like those things. Like I'm not like, oh my God, these kids are doing drugs, but like I am not surprised by these things when I hear them.
Yeah, I find them like Molly or ecstasy. That's the one that's like considered so chill, and it's like not that bad for you. It's like it fucks with your brain. Like it's not that good for you. Like like there's
you have a full day after where you no longer want to live.
There's like therapies out there that are like they're giving people like Molly and stuff like that to like for therapeutic reasons, and there's an understanding behind that because it's like the love drug and it can help you deal with your emotions and stuff. But people are using that as an excuse and then like going out and fucking partying, and it's like, it really fucks with you though, right?
Yeah, and I guess that's kind of like my point in the sense that like it's not that I think, oh, like these kids, you're not old enough to be doing drugs, like it's for adults. It's more like your brain's not developed.
You don't understand the implications.
You think it's chill because maybe you did it and nothing seemingly happened.
Yeah.
But you don't know what's happening in your brain, the chemistry of your brain. You can't tell that. You just start feeling differently sometimes. Or maybe you don't feel differently. You just grow and things didn't grow the way they would have grown. But you would have never have known that because you're stunted growth because you don't know what's happening, and none of us will not ever know, but probably not in our lifetime will they have enough information about the brain. Like they can't even tell 100% if you have a concussion yet. They can just guess based off baseline testing, but they don't know until you're dead, and they can pick your brain apart and tell. But like other than that, like how are you going to know if, hey, I started taking shrooms when I was 15 and my brain got really fucked up and now I'm just like this space cadet? I could have been maybe someone that was smart and coherent and aware of society, and now I'm that guy in the room going, hey, like when I meet people like that, I think, hey, maybe you did drugs too early. Maybe something happened. Maybe it wasn't the drug. Maybe it was something else. I don't know your life, but like I think kids need to chill on that. But that being said, that point removed, once you're an adult and your brain's developed, make all the decisions you want. Like people have been doing these things for years.
There's a pretty famous saying, every man has two lives. The second one starts when you realize you have one. And that's kind of like, so that's kind of like,
that's deep as fuck.
You like, once you realize that you're not invincible, then it's kind of like, oh shit, yeah, I'm an adult now. Like I can fucking die. Like my actions have consequences.
Absolutely.
And that's a pretty big deal, right?
Absolutely.
So you don't really realize that until you're old enough. It's a pretty big deal.
I think the big one with kids and doing drugs, I don't know for sure, but I think part of the reason that it's going down is the more openness that everybody kind of has. Like with my kids, I know I'm not going to be like, don't smoke weed. Why? Because I said so. No, it's don't smoke weed specifically for this. Like, it's going to be fun. You're going to like it, but you can't do it yet because of these reasons.
Yeah.
And if you do, this is the consequence. I'm not going to do anything to you because you're doing this all to yourself.
Right? You'll be dumb for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Whereas I know a lot of my friends' parents, they said, don't drink because it's bad. Don't smoke weed because it's bad. Don't do this. Don't do drugs. So we were all smoking weed at 13. We weren't like thinking like this is some crazy thing that's going to affect our brain.
Right.
We just thought we're not supposed to do this. Let's do it.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true. And
hide it from your parents because they're fucking stupid
Yeah.
and they don't
right?
know.
Like as one of the rare people my age that has never touched any of these things, I didn't do it because of what they told me in DARE class. DARE was bullshit. I didn't give a shit about DARE.
They tell you how to
Bro,
get
right?
it, where to roll, how to roll a joint.
What's it smell?
Yeah.
We
They
had
tell you
kids
everything
failing
about it,
DARE
man.
back in grade 5. Like this class was not good for that.
Right?
It did not work.
Right? They like gave us like a bag of weed to like smell it so we knew what to smell for.
That's good.
Can you imagine? Yeah, they're like,
that purple kush, baby.
oh no.
Oh.
But yeah, that class was a waste of time. Well, not complete waste of time, but for the purpose of their goal, it was a waste of time to try and get me to stay away from drugs forever. I stay away from drugs because of my own reasons that I developed growing up. That has nothing to do with it. So I just feel like the way they teach don't do drugs because it's bad. Drugs are bad.
Well,
It's
yeah.
just-
So
it
there's
is
like
still
there's a
silly.
disconnect between like drug use and then being addicted to something too, right? Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of studies that suggest like addictions kind of fall in line of like kids who were like didn't receive enough love as a young age or something like that, and they're looking for that proper escape. And like I know like that's pretty much why I was smoking weed. It's like fucking just get the fuck away from my parents and just try and just get high with my buddies, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so a lot of addiction actually has to do with just that escape of like not receiving what you really need down inside.
Yeah.
So in this day and age of like maybe kids really are doing less drugs, it's because people are more open and people are talking about things more. People are able to share their feelings more. So it's kind of this thing where, well, maybe people are doing drugs, but it's not as addictive anymore because it's an understanding that, oh, okay, yeah, I can enjoy this and then move on to other things. It's not necessarily this vice, this thing that I need in order to function in society.
Like having a beer with dinner. It's not you're not an alcoholic. You're just having a beer.
Right.
Having 6 beers at dinner. Maybe take a second look, right?
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you
Maybe there's a reason
microdose?
for
That's
that.
fine. Whatever. Oh, you just get fucking blitzed every night? Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, you're still microdosing? It's all day. I don't know what the micro.
Yeah,
actually-
microdosing doesn't mean just a little bit all day.
It's actually
Eat 'em
so
like
funny.
chips.
There's one time I was hanging out with this guy. It's actually a mutual friend of ours, our buddy Oliver, that we met back at the
Hey.
BP days.
That man likes to trip.
Yeah, all these dope.
We should probably save this moment just in case we need to bleep out that name. Don't know exactly how much this guy wants us out there because I
he
think
doesn't give a
I knew him as
fuck.
well.
He
I
just
love that guy.
one time we were having a conversation and he basically told me, he's like, I can't have conversations with people about life that haven't had mushrooms before. And I was just
That's
like
a
looking at him
Oliver
like,
thing.
I mean, I guess conversation's over then. He was just like low key shading me, but I was just like, you just don't know. And I was like, all right, man. All
You've
right.
never seen the geometric patterns on
Yeah,
the other side of the
yeah.
universe, bro. You
Yeah,
gotta
it was-
see them. They're wild.
I still remember. I just thought that was so funny. I was like, you know what? This guy's a good time. That was my thought. This guy's a good time.